for 2. Oh, that's going to be close, but he dropped the ball, Green. It was at the non-striker's end. The big dive came from the Spice Man, Fletcher. If he hadn't have dropped that and taken it cleanly, Hodgie, from the naked eye, how close was it?
Yeah, it's close, but he's sharp, Fletcher. But I tell you what, Rossi is a fantastic outfielder. No, he's always safe, the Spice Man. As I mentioned before, he's got those West Indian short twitch fibres. That's why Usain Bolt can motor his way down 100 metres in less than 10. Spice Man's probably just clicking over 10.
Just the one game for Green in the IPL. For Kolkata, that's driven straight back at him at pace with interest. Well fielded.
This is tactically what he's more used to doing, coming around the wicket. This is one of the tactics he does employ.
He's a bit ginger, isn't he, that wrist?
Absolutely. He's got some fast wheels on too. Greeny.
Yes.
I'm not sure, is it purple or blue Pumas that he's got on, but they certainly don't match with green.
They're a very iridescent blue with, and I think they've got some, so that's a two-tone blue there. Yep. Right arm around and backing away and carving it away through the offside is Stoinis, and that'll run through that cover gap as well. That's 4 for the TAC. If you're on your phone and driving blind, TAC, a real look of intent about Marcus Stoinis. Not happy with that second ball duck last night, and he's now 24 off 10.
Well, this is punishing Cameron Green. First game back, the new action, and it doesn't look to be a lot on him. Might be some nerves, and Marcus Stoinis is having a field day.
And he takes him down the ground again, this time just to the left-hand side of that mid-off fielder, Alex Hales, and there's just a single off the last ball, and it was a very, very profitable one for the Stars. 17 runs coming off it after 3, the Stars, and none for 37.
Tyre Power's Summer Scorcher Sale gives you the power of a sizzling hot offer on Toyo tyres. Buy 3 and get 1 free on a huge range of Toyo passenger car and SUV tyres. Now that is a hot offer. Buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo passenger car and SUV tyres. Only during December at Tyre Power. Tyre Power's Summer Scorcher Sale is on now with many more scorching offers on a hot range of famous brand tyres. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner operator.
None for 37, the Stars, after 3 overs. This is a very, very impressive start to proceedings. So this is the last over of their first up power play for Tyre Power. Summer Scorcher Sale. 12.33 that run rate, Brad Hodge, as they bring Nathan McAndrew into the attack. The 27-year-old, his 16th match. Just 6 wickets to his name. Bowling right arm over to Stoinis, and that bit up at him, and it's, does that get him where we'd never like to see anyone gotten?
It's just missed. I think it's just shaped away and just hit him on the pelvic bone, I reckon, just away from where it needs to be. But and Nathan McAndrew's got some pace, actually. I think he'll be good in this competition. He's one of those bowlers that, was a youngish guy, hasn't been exposed at the highest level and found himself under pressure, bowling that 6th over in the old style. Here he is now bowling the 4th. Stars none for 37. It's a good start.
So Stoinis seems to be okay. 25 off 12 for him. Fletcher's 12 off 7. McAndrew, that's a beautiful ball. Pitched it up. Drew Stoinis into a shot and unlucky not to have found an outside edge.
That's gorgeous bowling. Just line and length, top of off stump. Marcus Stoinis pushed forward. Just shaved past the outside edge. Frustration for the bowler. But this is a great start from the Melbourne Stars. This is what you need to do with 4 overs of power play. You need to take full advantage.
For Tyre Power, know your tyres. McAndrew in again, 2 dot balls to start off. Not many of his teammates have been able to find that. And again, he's pitching one up. Digging it out with Stoinis to mid-off. It was pretty well played in the end. But he's hitting the money spots from the word go, is McAndrew.
Yeah, this is good. And this is exactly what the Thunder need. They need a good over here just to try and peg it back. One of the things they haven't got is the experience of someone like Adam Zampa in their lineup just to be able to peg it back straight after this. So it's going to be interesting to watch how they manage their way past this 4-over period.
McAndrew in again. That's the bouncer. And having a crack at it was Stoinis. Over his head through to the keeper. Not called either. So 4 dot balls in a row for McAndrew.
It's a great start. Nathan McAndrew's Marcus Stoinis sort of looking to the umpire to see if he can get a no ball there. But yeah, for me, it's a fraction high, but pretty good, pretty well directed short ball. He's not happy with that, the big oil.
So this is his 6th season. McAndrew with the Thunder. And again, that's a bit short of a length. Outside off stump, trying to pull it away with Stoinis and didn't connect very well at all. Straight to mid-off.
So we're going for a maiden here. Last over the power play. And Nathan McAndrew, 5 dot balls. Tell you what, if they get away with this single here, this will be a phenomenal effort from Nathan McAndrew against Marcus Stoinis, who's been on a rampage.
Got his first Blues contract in June of this year, did McAndrew. Played his debut one-day international against Brisbane. So he's been toiling for a long time. And that will just change the figures ever so slightly. Again down the ground, over the bowler's head from Stoinis for 4 off the last ball. So they do get some runs. The maiden goes begging, and at the end of the power play for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts, the Stars have done well. They're none for 41.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Welcome back to Big Bash Nation. Sam Hargroves, Brad Hodges here for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money overseas with our app. Stars are none for 41 in their second game of BBL 10. They defeated the Heat last night by 6 wickets, and they're looking very comfortable at the end of their power play. Stoinis is 29 off 17. Fletcher, 12 off 7. Hodgie, it's hard to find fault with the way that the Stars have got this one going.
Mate, they've been on fire, Sam. It's been a really good start. Fletcher, he's 12 off 7 and on fire. And Marcus Stoinis, well, he's just picked up where he left off last year.
Into the attack, Tanveer Sangha, the leg spinner. Dot ball off his first delivery. Straight to point from Fletcher, no run.
Yeah, well, it's an important part. Needs to get in the game here early and have a real big impact with this finger spin.
Pretty big raps on this young man.
Yeah, well, he looks like he's confident in the crease. I mean...
Shane Bond's a big fan of him, the Thunder coach.
Yep.
So Tanveer, oh, that's straightening onto the pad. That's very close. That's out. Well, almost on cue. The first wicket falls for the second game in a row. Fletcher goes for 12. He's not totally convinced. He's looking at Stoinis, who might have just told him, that's pretty plumb.
I'll tell you what, that's plumb. That's a good decision, that. I think that's full and straight. Was the ball that's front out of the hand, so it wasn't going to turn. It took the umpire a long time to make a decision. That's going to go on the hit leg stump. Andre Fletcher didn't really have any idea about how to play that. There's a chink in his armour. It is against spin. Quite funny, Andre Fletcher just went to give it the tee and have a look upstairs, but not here, Fletch. Unfortunately, he has to go for 12. And
I think that might have been what Stoinis was telling him. We don't have that.
There's no review here, champ. And
oh, he champed him, did he?
Unfortunately, off you go.
Off the text, Dean. Thanks so much for covering the Big Bash today. You're my eyes and ears, so we appreciate that. So that's a wonderful start. Tanveer Sangha, right arm leg spinner. He's just a teenager. Signed his first contract with the Thunder at the age of 17. As part of the Australia Under-19 World Cup squad at South Africa. Australia's leading wicket taker at the Under-19 World Cup. He got 15 wickets there. Got his first New South Wales Blues contract this year. So just another one of the promising young players that we get to see in this competition.
Oh, absolutely. Superstar of the future. And tell you who has just walked to the crease is a superstar, Glenn Maxwell. Big show.
Here he is. He was crucial to that win last night, and he's off the mark straight away on the back foot, driving through covers for a single.
Yeah, surprise move. The skipper moving himself up the order. Hilton Cartwright did a pretty good job at number 3, but
that's very true.
I mean, that's the excitement machine of Glenn Maxwell. If he feels that it's the right time, he won't shy away from it. He'll just get up there and take full advantage.
He made 46 off 26, 3 4s, 3 6s last night, batting at number 5, and is that a half chance?
No, hit the ground.
No, bunt ball.
Played into the ground, and
they get a single though.
Saved a couple. I think it was Usman Khawaja at backward point, but it's hit fairly firmly. Good save.
He's seeing them well, Marcus Stoinis, isn't he? And then it's not just the big shots. He's playing a lot of correct cricket shots. And did that come off the handle of the bat, perhaps, or that could be leg byes?
Don't know. It was down the leg side.
That's a wide. So there's still a little bit to go in this over. 1 for 45, the Stars. Stoinis on strike, 30 off 18. Here comes Sanger, the wicket taker in this over, and that's pitching outside off and spinning away and using the spin to his advantage of Stoinis, and they'll look to get a couple on the arm of Sams. No, they just settled for one. So Stoinis retains the strike after 5. The Stars have lost their first wicket. They're 1 for 46.
IMAR. We all know they're the tradies' mates when it comes to business insurance. That means if you're a chippy, IMAR's got you covered. And not just you. Insure with IMAR and they'll cover your subbies as well. Plus, receive competitive monthly premiums at no additional cost, which is great for cash flow. Even better, there's no paperwork. Just a simple phone call and we'll get you covered too. Call 13-IMAR now. That's 134627.
They're the tradies, mate. That's IMAR.
Just having a look at the replay. Welcome back to Big Bash Nation. You're 100% right, Brad Hodge. When Fletcher got a decision that he didn't like, the West Indian did do the T sign and then had to be told by Marcus Stoinis, we don't have it. It's not here. That is quite amusing. So Stars 1 for 46 at the moment, but it's pretty ominous when Stoinis is in this kind of touch. 31 off 19. He's got Maxwell at the crease and gets cramped up there, Stoinis, but he just drops it into the onside and they'll get a single. So, Hodge, I was having a look at social media today. McAndrew has resumed, by the way. None for 4 in his first over. The best over for the Thunder so far. I saw that you were doing a whole thing explaining the change in Glenn Maxwell's stance and style.
Did you like that piece?
Loved it.
That's more to the point. Yeah, something we're experimenting with actually in the Channel 7 set, and I thought it was a pretty cool innovation. We've done some stuff like that over in India with the great Dean Jones in the select dugout, actually.
Yeah.
And
so what's he done, Maxwell?
Well, what he's actually done is that because he's had his issues with the short ball, if you have a look at his stance, he's opened it extremely wide to be able to access the onside. So
McAndrew, that's a fuller ball at the feet.
Someone like McAndrew is able to access and get the pull shots down or hit him in the air, whichever one he chooses. But he's actually skillful enough to actually keep the balls that are pitched up out. And with his bat speed and bat swing, it doesn't take out the offside either. So, there's a couple of players that can access the offside when they are out of balance. Steve Smith, Aaron Finch, and Glenn Maxwell's one of them. And it's a special talent. But that's what he's done. He's effectively become more of a 360 player.
Oh, driving beautifully through the offside. That's very straight to the right-hand side of mid-off. That is a beautiful off-drive for 4. That's as correct as it gets, Brad Hodge.
Oh, that's gorgeous. That's pitched up. And Marcus Stoinis crunched it past mid-off all the way to the fence. No chance for a mid-off fielder. It's interesting, the tactics from the Thunder. Traditionally last year and even the year before, they were a team which only ever bowled 1-over spells. So we're not seeing that at the moment. These new rules are just playing with everyone.
McAndrew to Stoinis. That's a bit shorter, but still able to drive it. This time a bit squarer through cover. And they want to, and they'll get it.
So, yeah, just back on the Maxi, we know he's a 360 player, but he's actually become even more of a 360 player, if that's actually possible.
I know, yeah. So maybe he was 270 and now he's 360.
Yeah, one of the areas which did trouble him is vulnerability to the short ball. Well, he seems to have nullified that with his open stance because you can just get a good bat swing at it.
Stoinis on 38 off 22. Seeing it brilliantly at the moment. Gets out of the way of a shorter one that was really aimed at his chest, and it's called a wide. Yeah, it's a slower bouncer too at 111 clicks from McAndrew.
Yeah, it's one of them calls which I'd like to see. I think a batter can have a swing at that. It's not that far ill-directed, and it's one of them ones where you go, nah. Anyway, that's why I'm not an umpire.
It was definitely hittable, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just over your left shoulder. I mean, you should be trying to hit that for 4, not let it go.
Stars 1 for 55. Stoinis. Oh, he's in just beautiful, Nick. That one wasn't quite as well timed, but still had enough on it to go over mid-off's head. Oh, that's well fielded. Did they get it up in time? Two of them having a crack at it. Green got some help. They both flick it back into play. And they still run 3.
It's been cutting it long on or long off, but it's Chris Green who times with amazing effort, and if he's managed to keep this in, which
is it touch? Oh no, I think it's touched his leg as he was touching the rope.
I think he's in trouble.
And Ben Cutting almost tripped over the rope just with a little fingertip to tap it back into play. So he's gone full seal into the rope. If you've ever been to SeaWorld, you'll know what I mean.
Yep.
The full seal slide head first. How are you seeing this, Archie?
It's there's commitment. Yes. I can see that.
Yes, it is.
There's not actually pure evidence to say it is a boundary. It's just that our actual knowledge would say that it's run along the side of his pants and...
Yeah, it's like when you rub the carpet and you touch someone else and they get the electric shock.
Yeah.
The ball's touching him as he's touching the fence. Is that 4?
Well, we'll find out in a minute.
Oh, yes, it is.
Signal 4.
After all that.
I thought that was going to be one of those decisions which absolutely takes 15 minutes because there's no definitive answer, but logic would say it's 4. So good decision in the end.
So the score now 1 for 59. Final ball of McAndrew's second over. This one's copped a bit more punishment. 13 off it so far. And that's a nice delivery to follow up the 4. Just defended into the onside for no run, and that is the end of the McAndrew over. After 6, the Stars comfortably 1 for 59.
New mini hotcakes with Nutella have arrived at Macca's. Our famous hotcakes made mini with a delicious layer of creamy Nutella. Try them today and flavour your summer with Macca's. Available for a limited time only.
Melbourne Apprenticeship Group. Apprentice labour hire. A flexible, cost-effective construction workforce supporting tomorrow's tradespeople. Reliable first to fourth year apprentices on contracts from 1 week to ongoing. Google Melbourne Apprenticeship Group today.
Well, Marcus Stoinis put a season together like very few that we'd ever seen last year. The highest individual total, 147 not out versus the Sixers. Over 700 runs, 705 and an average of 54. He hit 750s and he got a ton as well. It was a record-breaking season. A duck last night, but he is making up for it today. He's 42. Maxwell takes the strike of this second Cook over, and he gets a single behind square. So Stoinis just looking in impeccable touch, Brad Hodge.
Yeah, he is. He looks in dynamite touch, doesn't he? He's stamping his authorities. Got the chest out, looking very strong at the crease, as he always does. But I just feel that the tactics of the Thunder were wrong in that last over. For McAndrew, the bouncer had been bowled, even though it was called a wide. So, they kept mid-off up, and Marcus Stoinis beat him a couple of times down the ground. So just those little tactical errors you need to be sharp on against such a strong Melbourne Stars side.
So Jono Cook bowled the first over of the innings, brought back into play now. 2 dot balls to start with. Maxwell makes it a third. Just a little dab to mid-on.
Yeah, it's nice he bowled that from Jono Cook there. He's bowled that quite wide of the crease, jumped out wide at the last minute. In fact, his hair looks actually a fraction darker this year than it did last year. Is there a fraction of Jamaican brown that's been dobbed into that or not? Am I just seeing something? I don't know. I thought he was blonder than that.
We'll need to get some comparisons up.
Yeah. So change of field here. John Okuku bowls straighter at the stumps, have taken the backward point out and put a mid-wicket in, which is a good move to try and just block up that space on the onside, keep Marcus Stoinis at one end.
So Cook, that's drifting back in to Stoinis, who spoons one. A long time in the air. There's a sweeper coming around. I reckon they'll get back for two, and they do. So that's probably the first sort of false shot that he's played, Marcus Stoinis, Hodgie.
Yeah, he's just beaten the flight and just opened the face. He's got it over the top of extra cover. It's where he wanted to get it to, but it wasn't the most elegant shot.
Cook, a little feint of the back leg from Stoinis, shaping like he was backing away and then keeping his position. Drives to mid-off for a single. So the Stars side, which we didn't read out at the start, Stoinis, Fletcher, Cartwright, Maxwell, Larkin, Dunk, Hinchcliffe, Liam Hatcher comes in, Zampa, Stanlake, Dilbar, Hussain, Morris and Gotch are the 12th and 13th men. Nathan Coulter-Nile not playing in this game. So Cook puts one up into the slot. Driving through covers is Maxwell. Will they take on Sams again? Yeah, they do, and they've run well, these two. That's the end of the over. Not too bad from either side's point of view. We'll call that almost a break even. 8 from it. The Stars after 7, 1 for 67.
Tyre Power have topped the customer satisfaction table again. That's right, Tyre Power received the coveted CanStar Blue Most Satisfied Customer Award for the second year running, making them winners 6 out of the last 7 years. We're proud and thankful to know that you voted for Tyre Power to receive 5-star reviews in every category of customer satisfaction. So when you need new tyres, go to the undisputed leaders in the field, Tyre Power. Visit your local owner-operator or find us at tyrepower.com.au.
Marcus Stoinis going along beautifully at 46 off 27. Maxwell with him, 6 off 5. Rather subdued, Glenn Maxwell at the moment. We know he'll explode any moment. Stars are 1 for 67, going nicely after 7. Brad Hodge, want to get your thoughts on Nathan Coulter-Nile being rested in this game after a 4 for 10 man of the match performance last night. It was strange to see him not selected.
Certainly. It's caught me by surprise when you read that side out. I'm like, well, what's going on? Where is he? If he has been rested.
Green resumes, right arm around the wicket, put one in the block hole for Stoinis to dig out, and he does so to long on, just a single.
It's not a bad job, is it? Show up to work and just sit this one out and chill out. You can watch some TV, watch some cricket.
Had he been under a heavy schedule?
The modern cricketer. We've done nothing for 9 months, a lot of us.
I know. We've been in lockdown, haven't we?
Oh, it's a bizarre one.
Very open stance, Glenn Maxwell. He steps into the offside and he's cutting forward of point. Well fielded in the deep. Coming around to collect that one was Alex Ross.
Yeah, Rossi is good as anyone in the outfield, if not the best. But yeah, it's one of those ones where as team management, that's the difference between 14 games and that 10 game we used to have in BBL. You just haven't got time to rest players when it's so cutthroat in 10. Last year, I think you got the numbers and you can make the finals with less than 50%.
Well, the Thunder was 6 and 7 record, and they finished 5th and got all the way through to the Challenger as, again, brilliant running. 2 on the arm again. Into the offside. They're just picking them off here at the moment. They've slowed down a little. Partnership 31 off 20. Stars are 1 for 72, halfway through the 8th over. The stats for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux. Green, that's dropped a bit shorter. Maxwell was wise to it, was able to pivot quickly, and they had a man there, short, fine leg, but they still took him on. Stoinis was backing up a long way. They shy at the stumps. They're home safe and sound.
Yeah, it's Ben Cutting that had a shot at the stumps at the bowler's end. Glenn Maxwell scurried home. Would have been tight. Usually Ben Cutting's got a rocket. He didn't seem to let it go 100%. But Chris Green coming back for his second over. Looks like he's doesn't look like the same bowler he has in the past. Well, it doesn't look as effective he has in the past. We'll give him a break. It's his first game.
Second last over. Well, that's right in the half volley area. Now, has that gone Oh, that's gone straight through. That's gone that fast through mid-wicket that our cameraman nowhere near it. So that is 4, and that's 50 for Marcus Stoinis.
Yeah, that's impressive stuff. Marcus Stoinis showing the crowd the blade, and rightly so. That's a pretty good 50 as you watch a replay of this one. It was just whipped over the top of square leg, just with bottom hand jab, and absolutely raced to the fence. No chance for the fielder at deep mid-wicket, and Marcus Stoinis, doesn't he look in good touch?
7 50s to lead all comers for 50 scored last year, and he's already got his first of BBL 10 off 29 balls too, and that's short and wide. And he just carves that one forward to point. I don't know if they'll come back for 2 on this one, and they do. This is just a fantastic display of running. They got back easily on that. That's the end of the over. Another profitable one for the Stars. After 8, they're 1 for 79.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 1053 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
0433 98 11 16 is the Big Bash Nation text line. Marcus Stoinis brought up his 50 in the last over. There were 12 runs that came from it. 53 off 30 for Stoinis. Seeing them very large at the moment. Sam Hargraves, Brad Hodges here for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money overseas with our app. And it's Sanger, the wicket taker, gets the reverse slap down sweep from Maxwell. But they've got a man there, Khawaja, is at a short fine leg. And the Thunder side that was named Hales, Khawaja, Ferguson, Ross, Holt, Cutting, Sams, Green, McAndrew, Cook, Sanger, Nair and Tremaine, the 12th and 13th men. Oh, that's a half tracker. Maxi, it was wide down legs, wide down the offside. Maxi got into position very early to pull it forward to square for a boundary.
I'll tell you what, if I was the coach of Sydney Thunder here, as we see that one just too short, and Maxi's going to pump that to the square leg fence most times. Pretty good shot. I'd be tempted to sub Cameron Green out right now and get Arjun Nair into the attack after the 10 overs.
Yeah, well, he's copped some treatment.
He's bowled 1 over, haven't he? You can only do it after 1.
That's true. He's bowled 2 overs. Now, for Dulux, professional painters choose Dulux. He's bowled the 2 overs, Chris Green, and they've gone for 29 runs, so he's at 14 and a half.
Out.
There's reverse again, but that was a fuller ball and bowled him edging it through his own legs, so he nutmegs himself. Maxwell, as always, so much going on with the big show. It's very hard to describe, but he stepped away to leg, wanted the reverse.
Well, it's just a dab, actually. It's more he's come down on top of the ball from a height. Usually he tries to hit the ball square, and I don't know how he's escaped that.
Hi, it's Doug the Tradie. If you're a tradie like me, you need the correct insurance. It's easy with IMAR. They offer competitive premiums, instant cover and no paperwork. Go online, get an instant quote and pay the premium, or call an expert now on 13IMAR. You'll be covered in a few simple steps and ready to get on with the job. Visit imar.com.au today or call 13IMAR and get a quote, get covered, get working.
Now the trade is made. That's IMAR.
You can picture that in your head. The ball was wide outside off. He's chopped that down in between himself and the stumps into the leg side. So at the end of the over, 9 down now, run rate of 9.56. The Stars doing as they please. They're laughing, they're having a good time, and why wouldn't you be at 1 for 86?
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability. All while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Welcome back to Big Bash Nation. Stars are absolutely cruising at 1 for 86. And we're 9 overs in. So at the start of the 10th, Stoinis 54 off 31. Maxwell 16 off 13. And the former Heat all-rounder Ben Cutting now takes the ball for the Thunder. Good move, Hodgie?
Yeah, good move. Got lots of variations. Ben Cutting rolls his fingers across the ball both ways. So, experienced campaigner.
Cutting, right arm over. Bit of fast medium time now and a single into the offside for Maxwell.
Yeah, he used to be quick, Ben Cutting. Yeah, when he first came on the Shield cricket, he was up there in the high 140s. Now it's, gentle, sort of mid to high 120s. But that's one thing you can't buy, and that's experience, and he's got plenty of it. But this is good. This is good from Callum Ferguson. Just mixing his bowlers around. I think he's realised that Cameron Green might be done for the day, so he's got to find a couple of overs somewhere.
Cutting, it's a straight ball, sort of just at the waistline it bounced up to, so tucking it to a vacant mid-wicket region was Stoinis, and it's just a single. So we'd know Chris Morris, who took 22 wickets for them last year. Their replacement was going to be the Kiwi, Adam Milne, but he's got a bit of a hamstring strain, bowling well in the nets, according to Shane Bond. He won't be available till the third match on the 22nd of December, so Cutting's really important today.
Yep. Yeah, well, he's going to be important for him the whole way through, because even at their home ground.
That's a full toss wide, and just opening the face of the bat down low was Maxwell, and he gets a single to a short third man.
He's just moved into the funky mode here, Glenn Maxwell. He's got to 10 balls and then trying to be creative, but it's not working for him at the moment. Just get back to the basics for a couple of balls. But, Ben Cutting, whenever you're a three-dimensional player, you're an important part to the team. So, it's going to be a big player.
Three singles of the first three for Cutting, and again, just short of a length and straight. But there's a vacant mid-wicket that they're helping themselves to a couple through. Nicely run again.
Partner of Channel 7's very own Aaron Holland, Ben Cutting. Glamour couple of the BBL.
Wow. Great interview last year.
It was awkward, that, wasn't it? Imagine interviewing your man. It's weird.
She had some feedback, which I thought was valid. 50 partnerships up, 50 from 33. Stoinis 57. Maxwell 18 off 15. Just looking like he's wanting to pick up the pace a little bit. Stoinis full one, drifting onto the pads. Again, runs through mid-wicket.
I'll tell you what's happening here. Both these players have just gone, you know what? Straight after this 10th over, we're going to take this power surge.
Yeah.
So let's just get through this over.
Is that what you'd be doing?
100%. I think these two would have talked about it and gone, we've got 9 in the shed. You're on 50. I'm on 17 or 18. 18 for Maxi. Let's get after him after this. Put him under enormous pressure.
Just the one wicket's fallen for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoices into cash. scottpack.com.au. Cutting continues. Last ball of the 10th over. Defending back to the bowler is Maxwell. Gives it the nod of well bowled. So after 10, the halfway mark, they are on track for a big total here, the Stars. We'll see if they take the power surge. After 10 overs, Stoinis on 58, Maxwell on 18. Just the one wicket's gone, and they put 92 on the board, the Stars, after 10. So, Brad Hodge is our expert for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money overseas with our app. Halfway through the Stars innings, they won the bat toss, Hodgie. They elected to send themselves in. Fletcher went early, 12 off 10 for him. Sanger was the wicket taker there. And now it's all been Stoinis and Maxwell. How have you seen the first 10?
Well, it's been dominant from the Melbourne Stars, hasn't it? It's been the Marcus Stoinis show. He was brilliant. We saw Fletcher come and go with hit a 6, but really didn't trouble the scorers too much. But after a duck last night, who would have thought that Marcus Stoinis had come out in this blazing fashion? He hasn't let any bowler settle at all. He's played traditional cricket shots. And Glenn Maxwell's just settled into a nice rhythm, promoted himself up the order to number 3, and rightly so. It's a good surface. I just feel there's going to be some carnage after the drinks break.
So Marcus Stoinis didn't quite have the impact he would have liked in the T20s that he played for Australia, and I think the one-dayer as well. he always seems so much more at home when he's in at this level. And it might be just because he's given the confidence to do as he likes at the top of the order, and he's still trying to find his spot in that Australian team. And I think it's a different mindset where he knows that he's got to fight for a place, as opposed to here where he knows he's a walk-up start. Do you think that plays into it with him? Because he just looks totally at ease at the moment.
Yeah, it takes time, doesn't it? And look, playing that role deep in the order for Australia can actually be difficult. It's one which it's never easy coming in and facing Bumrah, at the end of an over or end of an innings, trying to whack him all around the ground.
We're resuming very quickly. Spooning one. That was uppish. Gave himself a bit of room to Cook, who's continuing for his third over.
Yeah, and this is a different role. As you mentioned, he's comfortable. He was a leading run scorer last year, so no concern on his shoulders. It's just backing his ability. And we talk about lots of ways we play in T20 cricket. We throw around words like freedom and that, but he's not concerned. He's come back from IPL. He's got a big chunk of cash in his pocket from that. So what more could be a worry in the world?
Cook again wanting to angle it across the stumps and at the pads of Stoinis, who again backs away. This time plays into the onside. The deep mid-wicket comes in and keeps it to 1. What did you make of his output in the IPL this year from the chances that he had?
No, perfect. He was amazing. Yeah, spoke to Ricky Ponting and he said he's delighted. He had a little bit of a side strain which set him back, but I'd say that was one of his best. He's just developing and growing as a player, and you can see it in his results.
Maxwell a single through mid-wicket as well, so 4 off the first 3, 1 for 96, so the 100 with insight this over.
Yeah, I wonder when this power surge is going to come.
Yeah, they haven't taken it yet. That's interesting. Cook, that's wide, tossed up.
I mean, with all due respect,
is a wide.
If they had taken it, it actually forces them to bring Daniel Sams back on early, which then opens up more scoring opportunities at the back end. So it can work in your favour to actually manipulate the fielding's captain, his thoughts.
Oh, he's going aerial again, Stoinis. He didn't fully connect with this, and the man coming around. It's Ross who won't drop that. It's Hales, I should say.
Daniel Sams it was.
That's Daniel Sams. I'll get on the third
get
go.
There anyway, but
I'll get it on the third go.
Just sort of feel it's a bit of a waste from the Melbourne Stars with the opportunity to go to the power surge, but Marcus Stoinis was looking to go over extra cover of John O'Cook and just sort of caught the outside edge of the bat, got enough of it to make it carry to deep point, and Daniel Sams takes a safe catch. But, well, it's a pretty good innings from Marcus Stoinis. He's done his job from the Melbourne Stars. It's the only real error he's made, and it's cost him his wicket. It's an amazing bounce back from Stoinis. He goes for 61.
So Cook had been getting some treatment and just hung in there. And I think, tell us how important that is, Brad Hodge, when you will cop it from time to time, but to continue to work to a plan and not get disgruntled or not lose your nerve.
Well, mentally, the captain would have been thinking that they're probably about 3 minutes away from a butt whipping here. Yeah. And that's just bought him a little bit extra time. But well done, John O'Cook. I tell you what he's a competitor, John O'Cook. In this competition, he has been. He stands up most times.
He's bowling to Maxwell as the batsman crossed. Maxwell again helping himself to a single through mid-wicket.
Doesn't often get trounced around. Marcus Stoinis is one player in the competition who has had the wood over him. As we see Hilton Cartwright come to the crease at number 4. Strike rate of 110. He's probably looking to improve that.
46 off 42 last night.
Yeah, he anchored the innings last night, but it's more his career record.
So he faces Cook, who's got his tail up. And that one got a little bit of turn back away. No run into the offside. So that's the end of a good over when it comes to the Thunder. They were able to claim their second wicket. It was a big wicket. Stoinis out, Bruin innings 61 off 37. And after 11, the Stars are 2 for 98.
Sometimes needing new tyres can catch us by surprise. That's why Tyre Power gives you the power of Zip Pay and Zip Money. It means you can get what you need now, get back on the road safely, and pay for it later. taking advantage of the interest-free periods. So if you need new tyres or mechanical repairs, don't wait till it gets worse. Get them now with Zip Pay or Zip Money at Tyre Power. No fuss, no wait, no worries. Terms and conditions apply. So visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner-operator.
So the Thunder get a bit of a break and just keep themselves in there in this game, because it's starting to look really ominous from a total that they're going to have to chase point of view. 2 for 98 the Stars, the 12th over about to go, and it's McAndrew who comes back into the attack to bowl his third, none for 17. But Maxwell 20 off 18 and Cartwright fresh at the crease. Looking at something up at around 180 at the minute. And that's a slower ball that bounced to the midriff of Maxi, and he got a single to a sort of short, fine leg.
Yeah, well, third man's up, fine leg's up. I think there's a change of field positions now as the new player comes on strike. So mid-off comes up and fine leg goes back.
Fascinating that they do now, that because you said before that you thought they would have taken that power surge for Tyre Power straight after the break. They didn't, and now Stoinis is gone. So they missed an opportunity there, the Stars.
Same thing happened last night for the Heat with Chris Lynn. Yeah. And you just needed Chris Lynn to be there in that power surge. And, you know, if you're Marcus Stoinis, you'd be thinking, well, I'm in pretty good touch here. Whoever comes on to bowl, I'm going to take him for a couple of boundaries. So
McAndrew has bowled well, and that's again a fuller ball at the stumps, driven out by Cartwright, and he'll get a single and he'll get off the mark.
It's one of those things which players, coaches and captains will have to get their head around, because as we see the 100 for the Melbourne Stars, 35 balls for the second 50 is pretty impressive. 33 for the first. And well, the other conundrum now is that, you know, Glenn Maxwell doesn't want to get out before that opportunity either. So
McAndrew, right arm over to the open, stands Maxwell. Oh, he's doubled him over. Right in the breadbasket, that got him. They don't run, but that would have stung.
Absolutely. Good length from McAndrew. It's the top of off stump. Hitting the bat hard there, or hitting Glenn Maxwell quite hard.
So this is game one of a double-header today. The Renegades and the Scorchers up after this. Jordan Canellis, Bryce McGain, your former teammate Hodgie will take us through that one.
Yeah, Goobag. Good man.
McAndrew, fourth ball, a driving Maxwell, thickish edge. As thick as you'd like, but there's no slips in, and that races away to the boundary for 4 for TAC. If you're on your phone and driving blind, TAC.
Yeah, and that's that open blade from Glenn Maxwell as well, and the open stance. Anything outside the off stump, you can just throw the kitchen sink at it. And that's exactly what happened with no third man back. Race to the fence. So Glenn Maxwell just looking to open the shoulders a little bit. It's not sure McAndrew's got the field restriction or field placements right to Stoinis or Maxwell. It's starting to become quite expensive.
Maxwell on strike again. He's down on one knee, sort of proposing to a ball that he cover drove for just a single. And it's always busy, isn't it? That even a single for Maxwell is exciting, but just by the way there's movement, there's always something going on at the crease with him.
Yeah, he's a beauty. I mean, this format's just built for Glenn Maxwell, isn't it?
His captaincy too, I think, is really underrated.
He was good last night, absolutely. And he led well last year, apart from the hiccup at the final, of course.
Yeah, well,
but,
we all have a bad night. McAndrew, a shorter ball, pulled away by Cartwright, didn't get full purchase. Man coming around in the deep, they'll get a couple. So last ball of that McAndrew over, and not a bad one. 9 off it for the Stars after 12. They're 2 for 107.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability. All while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
2 for 107, the Stars, a run rate of 8.92. Proudly brought to you by Dulux Trade Centres. Sam Hargroves, Brad Hodge is here. And just a little bit of a break in proceedings at the moment. What are we looking at on the replay there, Hodgie?
Yeah, a ball's just struck Glenn Maxwell as he's trying to get through the crease on the back of the glove, and just a little bit of wincing on the left hand from Big Show, but I don't think that'll worry him. He's just about to take control with the bottom hand, not the top one.
Yeah. Australia A beat India A. India currently 2 for 111. They've got a 197-run lead. Swepson's got himself a wicket. He got out Shubman Gill, who had got 65, so runs in both innings for Gill. Swepson's just taking wickets regularly.
Isn't he? Yeah, he's I mean, that's would have been handy for the heat there last night, Mitchell Swepson.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sam's back into the attack now. Left arm over, slower bouncer at the hip of Maxwell. He's able just to pivot and roll that one with the pull shot backward of square, and they get back for 2.
Yeah, we might start hear the king, Shane Warne, just start to beat a few drums about Sweppo. We know how vocal he is about leg spinners, and fair enough. But Mitchell Swepson's actually putting together a fantastic portfolio to say. Hey,
his Shield season was extraordinary to date.
So it's good to see. Some nice talent we have at the moment, Australian cricket. Very good.
2 for 109. So that run rate now is back to 8.96. So the wheels have slowed.
They have slowed, but still think 200 is the score they're chasing, the Stars.
Absolutely. Maxwell, that's beautifully played. Corrected the shot, opened the face, ran it down there. It went straight to Usman Khawaja at sort of that short third-man position, and they still took the single.
Yeah, it's good running. Good bowling from Daniel Sams. You just feel that they're going to be under enormous pressure to finish this innings off, the Sydney Thunder. Sams himself's outstanding, but just looking on paper, that's lacking a fraction experience in the bowling department.
So that innings of Stoinis, the second highest score for the year. James Vince got 67 on the opening night, so he still wears the yellow hat. Now it's Sam's left arm over to the right-hander and Cartwright, just a bit short of a length. Square driving on the back foot. Straight to cover, no run. Is Cartwright. He's 3 off 4. Maxwell 29 off 24. Sams has got none for 15 for Dulux. 2 for 110 the Stars.
Yeah, I mean, we keep talking about it, but whether it's a pre-planned idea when you take this power surge or not, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a gut feel. Maybe they realise that the back-end bowlers are going to be under all sorts of pressure.
Sams to Cartwright. That's a slower ball. It's well bowled, isn't it?
Yeah,
he just had to hold the bat and really just bunt that. He was done there, Cartwright.
Yeah, and that's his skill, Daniel Sams. That's why he was leading wicket taker last year, and that's why he found himself in the IPL too. Special skills.
I didn't get to see what his figures were like in the end of the IPL. How did he go?
Mate, I have no idea. I was asleep half the night, so...
we'll look that up with great interest in a moment when we get a spare minute. As you and I were saying off air, we'd like to be armed with every single stat, but it's just physically impossible when it comes to cricket. Short, wider. Having a crack at it was Cartwright and didn't get near it.
Yeah, no, I actually got asked to cover it from ESPN Cricket Info, and I said, you know what, there's actually no chance. You guys are in Dubai. You're going to be starting at midnight, and I finish at 4:30. And then I'm going to be up for kids schooling, homeschooling.
If you don't want to go the extra mile, Hodgie, I don't know what to tell you.
No chance. I said, thanks. I love my cricket, but not this year. Homeschooling takes priority.
Tell me how it goes. Fair enough.
Daniel Samso.
So what did you make of his debut for Australia? He copped some treatment at the end for India. He was able to get Kohli out, which was a big boost of the confidence. But he'll be better for the run.
Yeah, 100%.
He's in bowling now. Cartwright opens the shoulders and says, give me a piece of cow corner. And he might have put that out of the stands.
Absolutely monstered by Hilton Cartwright. Daniel Sams bowled it right in the slot, and the Terminator, as they call him, has banged it out of the stadium for a massive one.
9 off the over.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability. all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Well, Brad Hodge said that Hilton Cartwright needed to pick up his strike rate, and he has got that message. Took him a little while, but he's just put one out of Manuka Oval. And he moves along now to 9 off 6. I'm fascinated to get your take on this, Hodgie. You had every shot in the book. You're very correct and technically gifted cricketer, but you took to this like a duck to water, as I said. I remember asking Chris Lynn the same thing, who just said, don't really need to worry about your feet so much in this caper. It's just get your head in the right spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Trust your ability to hit the ball in the middle of the bat. That's the one good thing, is that technically you don't have to be an outstanding player to play this game. It's T20 format. I mean, one of the great examples is actually Corin Pollard, right, who cannot hit the ball on the offside. Doesn't need to. He just muscles the thing over the mid-wicket fence for fun. So, yeah, I mean, it does create. I mean, if you had a look at that shot from Hilton Cartwright, there's no footwork. It's just a swing. He just swung through the line of the ball, got it in the middle of the bat, and she went 100 metres.
I'll tell you what it's done. It's given Glenn Maxwell the confidence to get the umpire to do the wax on, wax off, and it's power surge time.
Here we go.
14th over. Field comes up, and look who's on strike.
Yeah, trouble for Nathan McAndrew. He's gone with a fine leg and a deep square leg. He's coming round the wicket, so we might see some Dan Christian tactics here.
Here we go. McAndrew, right arm around, wide down leg side, and that will be called as such.
And this is what I was talking about.
Anticlimactic.
Anticlimactic, absolutely. I just don't think they've got the experience in their attack at the moment, the Sydney Thunder, to deal with the likes of Maxwell in the 14th over with a power surge.
No.
This is going to be carnage. I wouldn't be surprised if Maxwell even just tries to reverse him over third man for 6.
For fun.
Just why not? He's probably, I know he'll be thinking it.
He tried it last night. It didn't come off too well for him. But as we said a couple of times, Chris Morris, the South African, is a huge loss. That's a full toss of the pads. Flicked off them. Man at fine leg will take this, though, and it'll just be one.
It's not a bad start. He's got away with that one, Nathan McAndrew. If he can get out of this with 8 or 9, he's done a good job.
I was going to ask you what's par for the bowler in this power surge and what's par for the batter.
Par for the batter, I'd say, is 14.
Right.
And the bowler would take 9.
In both or in one?
No, one. You're looking for 25 plus.
All right. For tyre power, your trusted tyre experts. His power surge, very wide of the crease around. Cartwright wants a piece of this. It's hanging a long time in the air and caught at fine leg. McAndrew gets his second wicket.
Well, good tactics from Nathan McAndrew. I didn't think it'd come off, but that's the conundrum of what the power surge brings. Do you go all out attack? And Hilton Cartwright went for it. It was banged into the wicket. It's a surprise short ball. He went for the hook. Straight down John O'Cook's throat at deep fine leg. So good execution from the bowler. I think everyone was thinking there was going to be a full Yorker at leg stump. And he banged it in, had some courage. He got the reward. So Hilton Cartwright, he monstered the 6 last over. This time he departs for 9. And the Stars, well, they lose their third. 118 on the board.
And it's McAndrew's first wicket, I should say. But what a time to do it in the power surge. So that'll bring, that should bring, or it'll be interesting to see if it does bring, the debutant to the crease, who came in for Nathan Coulter-Nile, Liam Hatcher.
He'll be down the order a little bit. He's a pretty good all-rounder, Liam Hatcher, but more of a fast bowler.
They did have him due to come in next, but
that's ambitious, that
might have been the wrong graphic that we saw come up. It's Ben Dunk, and that's probably the right call. So Maxwell on strike now. They did cross. So there's still plenty of time in this over, and he's backing away, Maxi. It was a bouncer down leg, and it's called a wide.
It was a slow bouncer, and Glenn Maxwell looked to give himself room to hit it on the offside, which is not a bad ploy. But as a bowler, you'd rather make the error than actually just not. So have a look at the replay of Hilton Cartwright's 6. There's a cross seam by It's gone 111 metres. Now, it's actually funny. When I tell junior cricketers never to bowl cross seams, that's why.
Oh, Maxi slapped it straight back to the bowler. Past the outstretched hand. You good luck catching that. In the blink of an eye, it's race to the boundary for 4 for TAC. On your phone, you're driving blind, TAC.
No, you're up against it as a quick when you're bowling the Maxwell with only 2 out in this power surge. That's just a length ball. And Maxie just gave himself a fraction of room and pumped it straight to the fence under the side screen. Great play, great striking. Yeah, I was just talking about the cross seam.
Yeah.
For some reason, when you hit a 6 off a cross seam ball, it goes further than if the seam was up. I can't explain why.
Oh, there we go. We're getting that's one for the Curiosity Show back in the day. That's another wide down leg side. I think you'd find it is. So we'll continue on with this quite lengthy over now from McAndrew.
So one of the things I found is when bowlers did bowl cross seam, and I actually visually saw it that was going to miss the Yorker length, I thought, this is juicy.
This is gone.
This is lovely. Thank you very much. We'll park that into the stand. For some reason, it just works. I don't know why. If there's anyone with some scientific background to support that.
That's a bit shorter. Pulled from outside off through mid-wicket. Man in the deep will keep this to 1.
So good bowling there. McAndrew gone with the off-speed leg cutter, brought fine leg up, got the ball into the wicket, and Maxie just pulled it out to the deep mid-wicket with a little bit of a shake of the head. He knows he's missed an opportunity there, but I think it's pretty good execution from the bowler to supporting his field.
So Ben Dunk, he's had a couple of seasons where he's been elite, led the competition in BBL 6.
In the blue, yeah.
But a few lean years around that. And we know at his best he can do it as well as anybody and does well in the Caribbean, does well at other places around the world.
Amazing PSL, Caribbean.
Yes.
I'll tell you what can happen. 5-year deals. That's what happens.
He's not hungry.
Complacency. Never give 5-year deals.
That's
what he's
the same
doing.
in footy.
1-year deals. That's it. You don't like it, move on. Done. Anyway,
that's a good chat in a broader term. But here's Dunk, a big chance today.
Good bumper.
Saw him coming, McAndrew, and dug it in short. And he had to get out of the way very quickly, Ben Dunk.
Well, he's got to bowl 10 balls this over. Oh, that's absolutely nearly clocked him now. That's sharpish. He advanced, and McAndrew followed him, and it just whistled over his right shoulder. It's good bowling. He's bowled 1, 2, 3 wides in this over. However, as a bowler, you're happy to take those wides instead of a boundary. So, yeah, he's back in his plan. He's missed it by a little bit as a deep 2 go back onto the onside. So, I just think he'll bowl a slow ball into the wicket. It's cross seam. Don't pitch it up.
9th ball the over. That's full at the pads. Dunk will get off the mark to deep mid-wicket for just a single, and he'll keep the strike. So that is finally the end of that McAndrew over, the first of their power surge for Thai Power. The summer scorcher sail after 14, the Stars, 3 for 126.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 1053 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
So Ben Dunk on strike, 1 off 2 for him. Maxwell at the non-strikers end, 35 of 27. This is interesting. They've gone back to Chris Green, who's been treated to none for 29 off his 2 overs. And this is the final over of the power surge for Thai Power.
Ooh.
Know your tyres.
Gutsy. I just got a bad feeling about this. A real bad feeling for Chris Green and the Sydney Thunder.
Sense of dread's gone through the crowd at Monica. Dunk on strike. Here comes Green. Tosses one up, invites the drive and gets it. Wasn't totally convincing, but he's found a gap through cover and he'll get a couple, Dunk. So that's okay. They'll take that. Green, number 31 of 2.1. That run rate's now just hovering at 9 for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux. Green right arm around to the left-handed Dunk. Digs one out to mid-off and they'll take a single. That's well run. It gets Maxi back on strike, Brad Hodge.
Scary. Very scary for the Sydney Thunder.
4 balls left.
If you are a Sydney Thunder fan, I would just collectively hold your breath for the next 4 balls because I'm not sure what the big show is going to do.
Well,
but it's going to be.
I think you've got an idea. You've actually put your feet up because you want to get comfortable.
It's going to be adventurous. I think you'll just get down on one knee and try and lap it over square leg for 4, just to give Greeny a little chance.
If you've got us in your ear at the ground at Monica, get ready, kids. Oh, he goes reverse and actually checked the shot well. This might go for 4. That's extraordinary. Rolled the wrist on it, wanted to go big, saw the line early, corrected the shot, kept it all on the ground. That's a boundary. That is incredible.
Well, Greeny doesn't know whether to laugh or smile there, whether to admire how good that was. That's in front of square. That's actually gone through cover. So he's realised that he's going to target the on stump, the leg side stump. He's just reverse swept it through cover for 4. Extraordinary.
Already 7. Oh, there's a big appeal for LBW. Maxi's fallen over. He's been given. Tried to hoist it backward of square. He ends up flat on his back. He's got to pick himself up, dust himself off, and walk off Monica. What a response from Green.
Yeah, fantastic response. I feel pretty flat, actually, after seeing that dismissal of Glenn Maxwell. I was expecting fireworks. Little shake of the head from the big show as he walks off. So we just have a look at the replay. Yeah, it looks pretty adjacent. Is it pitched outside leg? That's going to be the big question. But no reviews in this competition. It's been given, and the big show, well, it was entertaining.
It always is.
39 off 29 balls for the show, and he continues to excite us all in the Big Bash League. But a welcome wicket for Chris Green, who was under all sorts of pressure.
Wasn't he?
As Nick Larkin comes to the crease. In an interesting phase, he would never have come to the crease in a situation like this before. 2 balls left in a power surge. Who would have thought?
His best ever performance was in this in the final that these two played in, which was the Challenger final to get into the grand final, and he scored 83. He was tremendous that night.
He played well, actually. I actually saw him at the airport coming back from Sydney, and he is a lot taller than I thought.
Anyone's taller you and I.
Actually, it's not hard, is it? Let's be honest, it's not hard at all.
So Green, he'll have his tail up now. He had been dealt with, and he concedes a single into the offside. So Larkin back on strike. He got a couple off the first ball, and that is the end of the over. So well done, Green. There's a smile on his face now where there once had not been. Figures of 1 for 38 for him now, and the Thunder are working their way back into this one.
You can build with confidence with Metricon thanks to our lifetime structural guarantee. And we now offer advice and guidance to all Australians so they can truly love where they live. For more info, visit metricon.com.au. New South Wales Contractors Licence 174699C.
Melbourne Apprenticeship Group. Apprentice labour hire. A flexible, cost-effective construction workforce supporting tomorrow's tradespeople. Reliable first to fourth year apprentices on contracts from 1 week to ongoing. Google Melbourne Apprenticeship Group today.
So the power surge is completed. 4 for 135 in the end, and the wicket of Maxwell that fell in it, the 4th wicket to go. So they got a wicket in both overs of that power surge, Brad Hodge. You'd have to give the points to the Thunder.
Absolutely, and we've seen plenty of wickets in the power surge, actually. We saw in the first game against the Hurricanes, Colin Ingram lost his wicket last night as well. The Heat, well, they just had a diabolical period during the power surge, and here we go again. So that was gutsy from Chris Green as we see Sangha back in the attack, the leg spinner. It's been pretty tidy too. 1 for 12 off 2.1. Mentioned earlier about the excitement around this youngster. He's got some skills.
So he's bowling, and that wasn't that short, but pulled away by Larkin. Through mid-wicket, they'll get a single.
So what was on for 200, the Melbourne Stars? I think they can possibly still get there, but yeah, you just feel with those back-to-back wickets, they're probably going to rebuild for another 6 or 7 balls. Yeah, probably on target now for something like 180.
That's a fuller ball worked off the toes by Dunk, who's just going at a runner ball at the minute. 6 off 6 for him. So that power surge, 19 runs. if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what you've got it down for, but I think from my calculations, which aren't always spot on, I'll be honest, I think it was 19 runs. Now, that's a shorter one that did spin away for a fair way from Larkin, who had to take one hand off the bat to cut it forward a point for a single.
Yep. Yeah, well, they're going to be better than my calculations anyway. So, you've got to give that to the Thunder. I was extremely nervous. I thought it was going to be carnage. But
Sanger tosses one up.
Didn't appear that way.
Driving off the back foot to cover was Dunk, and they don't get anything there. Oh, no, they got a single.
Yeah, a little misfield from the skipper, Callum Ferguson.
Good to see him staying involved. Obviously retired from first-class cricket earlier this year, but wants to continue on with the Thunder.
Yeah, 100%.
Sanger. That's wide to backward point. They'll get a single.
Hey, nice little over here. It's 5 so far from it, and it's the end of the over, actually.
Got the picket fence up. 6 singles all in a row in that Sanger over. That's a good one for the Thunder. They've put a few together now after 16. The Stars, 141 for the loss of 4 wickets.
IMAR. We all know they're the tradies' mates when it comes to business insurance. That means if you're a chippy, IMAR's got you covered. And not just you. Insure with IMAR and they'll cover your subbies as well. Plus, receive competitive monthly premiums at no additional cost, which is great for cash flow. Even better, there's no paperwork. Just a simple phone call and we'll get you covered too. Call 13-IMAR now. That's 134627.
They're the tradies, mate. That's IMAR.
For 141 after 16. So it's starting to even up a little bit. Brad Hodge is here for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money overseas with our app. Cook, this will be the last of his overs. He's got 1 for 22, but he got the big wicket of Marcus Stoinis. Caught Sams for 61. And the single off the first ball of his last over. He's bowled pretty tightly.
Doing well, Thunder, yeah. John O'Cook's been good. It's a surface which should suit the spinners. There hasn't been any turn, but yeah, it's a day game. If you're ever going to have an impact, it's going to be in a day game. So, but 10-0 from here gets 180 from the Stars. They'll be pretty comfortable with that. They've got some good spin stocks in their lineup.
Cook, that's full and wide. And
yeah,
got called.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think that's a poor call, actually.
Angled right across the left-hander, who probably made it look worse than it was, Ben Dunk.
Yeah, we went for the reverse sweep. So I think if you reverse sweep, I don't think wides should be counted on either side.
Oh, opening up the shoulders was Dunk like a rusty gate.
Tell you what, Dunky
didn't get any of it.
Dunky in BBL in green looks like a completely different player than I play with the Adelaide Strikers.
What are you seeing that's different?
I have no idea. And I'm not going to present something which I do think I know, which is absolute fabricated lie.
Oh, he's got onto this one. That's going very, very high. Has it got the length? Oh, it's dropped. Dropped over the rope. It just had enough on it to cause some uncertainty.
Yep. Yeah, had enough distance. Alex Hales, who was camped on the rope, it was a good swing from Ben Dunk. That's more like it. He hustled back, got himself into good positions and couldn't pull off a Jordan Silk. Just tapped it over the bar and went for 6.
And had support from a teammate. So if he had been able to take it in midair, there was someone there to throw it to, and that's a bit shorter. Stayed low, but Dunk got low too and was able to pull it away, and they'll look for 2. They scurry back. That's well run. So this is a little bit starting to look a little bit more like it from Ben Dunk. 6 off about 10 last night. Now 15 off 10. That's better side of the ledger.
No, that's good. And look, he's got outstanding Pakistan Super League form and Caribbean Premier League form. So it's just a matter of just transforming that courage and confidence into this comp. But, I mean, you do find yourself in batting in different positions. So
that's full and wide. And he was able to chop onto it, Dunk, get it through the offside.
No, he's a damaging player.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's on song, he's unbelievably talented and good.
Didn't he and Chris Lynn tear him apart in the most recent? They were at the top of the order together, weren't they?
Yeah.
So this is an interesting stage. That run rate's still at 9, but it's definitely been slowing down. 4 for 152 onto the pads. That might be leg buys to finish out this over. And we'll just wait for that call. And yes, it was. So 12 still came off that over. So in the end, it was actually a pretty good one for the Stars.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Stars have put together 4 for 153 with 3 overs to go. The men out, Fletcher was LBW, Sanger for 12. We'll work through those in just a moment as Sanger gives away a single through the offside off the bat of Dunk. That was Larkin, sorry. He's got 1 for 18. And the next man out was Cartwright, who was caught Cook, bowled McAndrew. Actually, that's not how it worked. It was the first one. I'll get back to that in a minute. I can't read my own writing at the minute, so we'll go through that in just a moment. Although that's a straight-up ball. It stayed low, and Dunk latches on, and he is caught this time, though. It's Green out there. I thought he got a fair piece of that. Went straight down the throat of Green in the deep, and Dunk's gone for 16.
Well, wickets continue to fall for the Melbourne Stars, and whilst they do that, it's going to just stunt that progress. So Ben Dunk, it was full. It was actually too full for the shot that he was looking to play. I think he was expecting something short. Greeny on the fence there, just took it casual as you like. And the youngster, well, he's excited. Picks up Ben Dunk's gone for 16. Melbourne Stars 5 for 154 after 17.2. So game on.
Absolutely. And this young man's really enjoying his work. 2 for 18. So the first wicket to fall was Fletcher. LBW bowled this man Sanger. Stoinis then went, caught Sams, bowled Cook. And it was 2 for 97 then. Cartwright next to go, caught Cook, bowled McAndrew. And Maxwell went in the last couple of overs as well. So that's the 5th wicket now. Dunk, and that's beautifully fielded in the outfield. Larkin thought he had a boundary there, but Ross said no.
Yeah. Amazing high standards, Alex Ross. All through this competition, he's been one of the premier fielders, and that's the standard we have to uphold, actually, in this comp. Last year, the catching was diabolical. Not that that's a catch, it's an outfield save.
Now, they're saying that Clint Hinchcliffe is at the crease. I just want to double-check that.
There he is.
There he is. He's on strike now.
Oh, Ron Burgundy lookalike, let him go.
Yeah, they were calling him that last night. He gets a single to backward square leg.
He's a handy little player. He's busy. He's got some power.
So it'll be Larkin, 10 off 9 for him. 2 balls left in this Sanger over. He's got the Richie Beno 2 for 22. He invites Larkin to come at him. In the end, he read it nicely, waited for it, and was able to cut it to backward point for a couple.
Yeah, it's the fraction wide, just too short and wide. As a youngster, you'll learn not to give the stumps away ever as a leg spin bowler. So that's what we'll see from Adam Zampa in the second half of this innings. You'll just see just a reluctant pressure on the stumps.
Sanger again it's short, and again he gets a lot of bounce, and again he's cut. This time it did get to the hands of Khawaja at point, but he wasn't able to reel that in, so they'll get 2, and that's the end of the over. So wicket falls in it, but they still were able to get 9 runs on the board from the Stars, and with 2 to go, they're 5 for 162.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 1053 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
Chris Green will bowl the penultimate over of this Stars innings, where at one stage they were looking at 200. They've been able to put a relatively decent handbrake on here, the Thunder, and at the moment with 2 to go, the Stars are 5 for 162. Hinchcliffe 1 off 1. will be on strike. Larkin 14 off 11. Green has been expensive, 38 off his 3, but he's got a big wicket. He's going to have 2 now. That's as plumb as it gets. Full. I reckon it might have struck him on the pad on the full. And Hinchcliffe's gone for 1. Green gets his 2nd.
Good bowling, full and straight from Green. Hinchcliffe looking to work the ball on the onside against the spin. And it's pretty much just missed a straight one. That's just precisely what's happened there.
Yep.
So, looked like the quicker one there from Green. Was just fired into the stumps. Hits him on the full, actually. So, he's missed a full toss and took a couple of steps towards the fence. Hinchcliffe, probably knew he was plumb.
How does that go down with batters getting LBW on a full toss?
Oh, it's hideous, to be honest, really. You can see by his body language that shake of the head and you walk off, go, get into dressing room.
He's going down too. He's not even going to sit with her. He's going straight downstairs.
How'd I miss that? What's going on? And anyway.
So this is, what a difference an over can make. Green was going at 15s. He gets the big wicket of Maxwell, and now he gets his 2nd. And that brings Zampa to the crease, who gets a single in the misfield at mid-off.
And it's amazing what one player can do. We talked about that 5 players missing last night from the Heat's first 11. Nathan Coulter-Nile, who's one player, steps out of the Stars, who probably would have been at the crease with best part of 2 overs to go, who is an extremely damaging lower-order player, who's now absent through rest. Well, we assume it's rest.
Green tosses one up, obliging the drive. Request was Larkin, and they'll get one through cover.
I mean, they've got an opportunity here to keep the Stars to under 180. And if they did that, that's a huge effort from the Thunder players.
And again, Hodgie, we're seeing for the 3rd game in a row that the power surge, whoever wins that, it can change the complexion of the game.
Yes, correct.
They got 2 wickets. They got Stoinis and Maxwell in that power surge, the Thunder. Full toss. Driven straight to the fielder, though, so missing out there was Zampa.
Oh, it's handy, this from the Thunder. It's 2 full tosses in the over haven't been dealt with. You just look at a replay of Hinchcliffe's dismissal and it's just cannoning into the stumps. Dead straight.
And again, another full toss, and again, a dot ball.
Well. 175 here the Thunder could be staring at to keep the Stars on. If this is a dot ball or 1, then they're in the box seat.
So between these two sides, Stars have won 7, Thunder have won 6. This is being dragged through forward of square by Zampa. They'll look to get a couple, and Misfield will allow that to happen. But the side batting second between these two sides has won 9 out of 13. So the chasing sides had the measure between these two teams. 171 is the average winning margin at Manuka as well, and that's what they look on target for. So with 1 over to go, the Stars are 6 for 166.
For many of us, our car is our pride and joy, or the family taxi. And for some weeks now, it's been sitting idle in the driveway, waiting for the moment we can get back out on the road. Before we do that, book in with Tyre Power for your free 5-minute tyre safety check. Plan ahead, beat the crowds. It's so important to check your tyres are 100% roadworthy and safe. Find your local independent Tyre Power dealer at tyrepower.com.au.
It's been an incredible fight back from the Thunder. They've taken regular wickets since the power surge, and they've really tightened up the scoring of the Stars, where once they were looking at 200, now 180 would be a big win, and that's a fantastic ball. Where's that got stuck? That's been caught in the pads of Larkin, who took off with the ball stuck in his pad. Kawaj is saying, call that dead ball, please, and not a single. So there'll be some consultation here, Brad Hodge.
Yeah, I'd be saying forget about it, because that gives me Zampa on strike. But it's actually got stuck up his shirt. That's got to be a dead ball, actually. Yeah, I think they're right onto this, the Thunder players.
Tuck it in.
Has he got a vest on?
He does too.
I was going to say, if you had done that back in when I started cricket, doesn't tuck your shirt in. Wow. Coach will be on to you, but he's always got a vest on.
So this is bread and butter for Sam's.
So it was called a dead ball. I can't believe that it's actually not a ball bowled, though.
Oh, bowled him! Slower full toss. It did like it all ends up. He looked like a sandwich board sign. He was in a V. It got through him beautifully. That's what Daniel Sams does.
Yes, this is amazing from Daniel Sams. That's why he was the leading wicket taker in BBL 09. There's a change of pace, the off-speed ball. Larkin opened himself up, looking to give himself room, was completely deceived. End up yorking himself, and great execution from the left-arm fast bowler. We often say, don't we, if you bowl at the stumps, you're always a chance.
One of the great adages of cricket that proves to be correct time and time again.
Yep.
So this will be the debutant Hatcher who
Liam
comes to the
Hatcher.
crease.
Yep, he's a New South Wales boy, so he's playing against a couple of his mates.
Mm-hmm. But this is what Daniel Sams does. Of his 30 wickets last year, 15 of them were at the death. So in the last 4 overs of the game, that's considered the death. So he took half his wickets in the most crucial time.
That's why Morris and him were a fantastic partnership.
Sams is in again, bowling to Hatcher, who wants a piece. Open face, square drive, and they'll get a single to Khawaja. Didn't even bother having a shy at it. So Hatcher gets off the mark on debut. Zampa on strike now, 3 off 4. 3 balls to come. 7 for 167. So
no boundaries here, and you'd have to give a huge tick to the Sydney Thunder. And they won this last 10. Melbourne Stars were staring at 200 with Stoinis and Maxwell at the crease. They're probably 30 short of where they should be.
Yeah, that run rate now, 8.5. Sams has got another one. Zampa wanted the ramp shot. Went down on one knee, exposed the stumps as he stepped to the offside, and Sams knocks him over. Gets his second wicket in 4 balls.
Yeah, he didn't really commit to it, the Zorba, did he? He didn't really want to get underneath that ball. He hustled himself outside off stump, tried to scoop it over, but really just left the stumps too exposed. And, well, yeah, look down at the crease there, Adam, and off he goes. But this is amazing. Daniel Sams picks up another one. So back-to-back wickets in this last over. It's just halting the Stars' progress here. As the giraffe, Big Billy Stanlake, walks to the crease, and all of a sudden they're looking short-stacked.
Yeah, they are. He's a very tall man. The stumps come up to his knee.
So what's he got? Strike rate of 65. You wouldn't think that he's going to have too much of an impact on this game.
His highest score is 4.
We saw him bat in the nets most times, and it was awkward to watch. Couldn't actually ever see him physically scoring a run. But he can bowl. And I'll tell you who can bowl. Daniel Sams changed the pace. Really good stuff.
So in this over, he's got Larkin and he's got Zampa left arm over, and Stanley did well to dig out the very full Yorker aimed at leg stump, and he'll get a run.
Yeah, the execution. That's what's brilliant about Daniel Sams. So he bowls a couple of changes of pace, and then all of a sudden fires in a Yorker right in the block hole. Great execution. That's probably why he played for his country not long ago. So last ball, Liam Hatcher, what's he got for us? I bet you it's going to be a slow ball.
Yorker, dot ball. It was just a bit shorter than a Yorker, and they'll get a single, so I wasn't far off. But that's a fantastic fight back. It was looking like 200 at a canter for the Stars. And the Thunder got themselves back in it, and it was the power surge that proved pivotal in the game. They got the wickets of Stoinis and Maxwell in it. So now the Thunder need 170 from their 20 overs, and that's very, very gettable for this Thunder lineup. Brad Hodge, just your impressions of that Stars innings, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely gettable for the Sydney Thunder. The Melbourne Stars, well, it was dominated at the top, wasn't it? Marcus Stoinis, 61 from 37 balls. And the big show, Glenn Maxwell, 39 from 29. And, you know, we had a couple little cameos from Ben Dunk and Hilton Cartwright. But all in all, it was a tale of 2 innings, wasn't it? It was dominance from the Melbourne Stars in the first 10. And then the ability of the Sydney Thunder to claw it way back has given them a real chance, a real hope here to chase down 169.
So they'd only lost 1 wicket up until the 11th over. And wickets then started to fall at regular intervals for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoices into cash, scottpack.com.au. But let's just take you through the Stars card, and as the wickets fell, so Andre Fletcher was the first to go. LBW bowled Sanger. It was a fantastic piece of bowling in the 5th over. They lost their first wicket. He was gone for 12 off 10. Stoinis and Maxwell put on a fantastic partnership after that. And at 2 for 97, Stoinis went 61 off 37, caught Sams, bowled Cook. Then Hilton Cartwright the next to go, and it was 3 for 118 when he went, caught Cook, bowled McAndrew for 9. Maxwell was LBW to Green, who fought back really well after copping a pasting in his first 2 overs that went for just under 15 and over. So when Maxwell went LBW for Green, it was 4 for 133. Ben Dunk was caught Green, bowled Sanger for 16 off 12, and then it was 5 for 154. Hinchcliffe the next to go LBW for Green, and the score was 162. He got 1 out, 1 from 2. Larkin was next to go, bowled Sams in the 20th over. In the 19th over. He went for 15 off 14. Zampa was bowled Sams as well in that crucial 20th over. I'll get it right eventually. In that 20th over. So just brilliant work at the death again from Daniel Sams. He ends up with figures of 2 for 24. Jonathan Cook got 1 for 33, bowled tightly. 1 for 36 for Nathan McAndrew. The comeback from Chris Green was crucial. 2 for 42 from him. And Ben Cutting bowled the 1 over and just the 6 runs conceded from it. So fascinating the way that this game can ebb and flow. Brad Hodge,
Yep.
you mentioned that Stars were looking like they wouldn't get out of third gear and they'd get to 200.
Yep.
And in the end, 170 is probably subpar.
It's amazing, isn't it? As experts, we predict 200, and looks what happens. 170, and you've got to think that the Sydney Thunder will walk into that dressing room probably the higher of the two sides. The Melbourne Stars will have great belief that they can defend that. They've got an outstanding bowling unit, but Sydney Thunder, I would have thought 200's out of their reach. Now this is right in there. It's amazing what this power surge has done. It's going to create some chaos for captains and players and coaches throughout this tournament, because what we've seen is it's not yielded success. It's actually just brought the opposition back into the game.
So Sams and Green both got 2 wickets for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoices into cash. scottpack.com.au. So they were the 2 leading wicket takers of the first innings for Henley Holmes. Transparent pricing, no spin. And Stoinis was the leading run scorer for the first innings for Henley Holmes, batting for first home buyers since 1989. So he got 61, and his innings was incredibly impressive. Brad Hodge, what were your overriding impressions of the Stoinis knock?
One of the things which I just admired about his ability was his improvement against spin over the last year and a half has just been a phenomenal rise. But just that charismatic ability to believe in your own strengths and weaknesses, and he just played to his strengths for as long as possible, and he was strong down the ground. Whenever it was pitched up from the quicks, he just punished it towards the side screen, played in his arc, and just jumped all over anything which was loose. It was just quality. The only one he missed hit was the one he got out on.
And those wickets, the Stoinis and Maxwell wickets, they fell in that power surge for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts. And for all the wickets that fell for Scott Pack, turn unpaid invoices into cash, scottpack.com.au. Those were the crucial ones, one after the other, and it just changed the whole complexion of this innings.
It does. Back-to-back wickets. We always say a partnership. What's a partnership look like? And it's usually, 5 to 6 to 8 balls. That's what a partnership is in T20 cricket. But when you lose back-to-back wickets, it just stunts your growth so much, because both players have to rebuild. The singles dry up, the boundaries dry up, and you find yourself under pressure. But, we do know that, that was exactly the final, wasn't it? Stoinis gone, Maxwell gone, and the final just slides away. New year, same thing.
Their partnership was worth 56 for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoices into cash, scottpack.com.au. Sam Hargraves joined by one of the greats, Brad Hodge on Big Bash Nation. The Thunder